Okay, let's begin. Start by standing with your feet just comfortably underneath your shoulders. Soften your knees a little bit, and then let's start with knocking on the door of life. So just relax your shoulders and your arms. Twist from the hips, a little bit from the waist, and then breathe out through your mouth. Relax your shoulders. Just let your arms swing. It's a very childlike motion, actually, when you think about it. Keep on breathing. Breathe in through your nose and then out through the mouth to help release some pent up tension, tightness. Just let that all go. And then start to tap underneath your collarbone. Get into the upper part of your chest. There's some people who are fairly new, so you've probably never seen what it looks like from the back. So that's where the backhand is. Let you see that. And then I'm going to take the front hand and tap on top of the shoulder and you just keep tapping in the same place on your back. That's the door of life, Ming Men. Open that point, and it really opens up a lot of energy for you. Also, there's lots of other points that we're stimulating as we work on all these different areas. Now, let's start working our way back down. Wake up your chest, wake up your lungs. And now come back down around the waist area. And then take another breath. And when you exhale, let this turn into water waves. Just let your arms glide in front of you and behind you. Feel the air gliding by your hands and your arms. Take another breath here. And then just let that wind down, slow down. And then let's do a little picking cherries. So with your knees slightly bent and drop your tailbone down. So you're not really curling under like this. Just lengthen your lower back by dropping your tailbone down a little bit. And then reach up one arm and then the other arm. So if you have your knees bent, you're very grounded into the earth. When you reach up, you stretch one side, stretch the other side. This can feel really good after you had to sit for a long time. Just no hurry. Your shoulders are stiff or you have some problem there, then just don't reach up so high. Just stretch along one side of your spine and the other side. If you can reach up easily, then go ahead and do that. And I'm really reaching more up and not over to the side. It's just up, getting length. Lengthen your spine. And now just let both arms come down to the sides. Bend your wrists, palms are facing down here, and then tilt your head over to the side, spreading the feathers. So open your fingers, reach your arms out, let your head just gently go over to the side. And if you want, you can just keep your head in one position, or you can roll your head forward and see how that feels. Roll your head back. And if you find a place that's particularly tight, you might want to just linger there for a little while. But I've found that just going through the range of motion can help just as much as being more targeted. But that's the wonderful thing about Qigong. It's very adjustable. So you can do it the way that makes you feel great at the end. And then let your head roll over to the other side and keep your hands in that position. And then roll your head over and back. You might hear a lot of popping and cracking and grinding. Hear a lot, then maybe don't put your head so far over to the side. I know that this side, when I'm leaning my head over this way, it tends to get very loud. A lot of percussion is going on in there. And so I just lighten up on that a little bit, but still keep the arms stretched. So you're stretching down the muscles, the energy flows, any lines of tension, let that go. Yeah, and then next time your head goes forward, just release your arms down and take a moment to check in and feel your body. Just breathe in and breathe out, starting to wake up here. And then let's do a little bit more to really warm up the body. So we'll do the pump. Just bring your arms up. And then as you swing your arms down and back, you bend your knees and straighten. And then bend and straighten. Just the knees kind of bob here so that it just makes it a little bit more gentle on most of your joints. You want to always avoid locking your joints. Locking would be more considered blocking in Qigong and energy work. So you want to just have a very slight micro bend in your knee most of the time when we're doing things. And then when you bring your arms down, exhale. Exhale through your mouth. Just let go of stress. Let go of anxiety, worry. Get your energy and blood circulating. Two more times. And relax your arms down by your sides. Now open your legs up a little bit wider and then put your palms together. And we'll do igniting inner fire. So it's a heart exercise and it goes with summer. We're just getting it to the nice, a little around here, nicer part of summer. It's not quite so hot, but it's been pretty hot most places around. And so sometimes if you uh, do heart exercises, it can to uh, release release the fire. So just put your hands together here and bend your knees a little bit. And then what you do is you just twist. So we're targeting that point that's in the middle of your palm. It's on the pericardium meridian, and that's heart protector. Yeah. Heart, very important energy in traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong. It has 4 meridians that are associated with it. So we want to bring up a little bit of heat here now, get you really warmed up. Later on, we're going to go down on the floor and do some stretches. So it helps if you're warmed up, and a good time to do stretching is in the summer when it's already warm. And now shift your weight over to the right and then lift your right elbow up and turn your head to, then come through the middle, your knees a little bit. You can adjust your feet and then go to the other side. And then once you've got the pattern down, you can make it a little bit more flowy. You don't need to really stop in the middle, but maybe now you can start to feel your hands are warming up, maybe a little warm throughout your body. Keep on breathing. Want to exhale. You can exhale through your mouth to release pent up tension and pent up heat. And now come back to the center and breathe in. Open your heart to the sky, and exhale. You can round over a little bit. So you can think of it heart to the sky, and then heart to the earth. But the back of your heart is facing the sky. So it's heart to the sky, in my opinion, both ways. Just inhale, take a nice deep breath, and exhale. And now let's do a little strengthening. So turn to your left, make your toes point to the left with your left foot, and just adjust the back heel a little bit so that you're in this kind of a lunge warrior position. Want to make your legs wide enough so that you can bend this knee, bend your left knee. Then just put your hand on your knee this way, and then the other hand over your head. Stretch over, breathe in, and then let's reverse that stretch, do it the other way. Try and keep your knee bent. And you can keep your arm straight. That's the supporting arm here, or you can bend it a little bit more. You can even go all the way down on your elbow. You're all stretched out. Working on strength here, as well as some flexibility in the upper body. Last one here. And then straighten your leg and turn to face front. Let's do a little forward fold. Just go over as far as you're comfortable with. You might even want to, since you're at home, you can hold on to some furniture and just lengthen your spine this way. Oh, that feels good. Ah, but of course, if you want to, you can just hang over. Keep your knees slightly soft, but still try to feel a stretch on the back of your thighs. Stretch your hamstrings and into your low back as well, depending on how far you're leaning over. And then put your hands on your thighs and reach up. Prayer hands at your chest. Let's have heart to the sky a couple times. Inhale and expand. Exhale and release. And now let's do the other side. So let's go to the left. You might want to open your legs a little wider or just adjust so that you feel safe. You always want to feel safe doing this. And then you bend your knee and support your hand and your torso on your thigh. And then inhale, try to face forward. And exhale, try and keep your knee bent as much as possible. Inhale when you do the stretch, and exhale as you do the transition, and then inhale when you stretch the other way. Keep on breathing. You can always exhale through your mouth if that feels good. Once more each way. And then turn and face front again. And let's do another forward fold. Just stretch out a little bit. So we're all warmed up. We're ready to get down on the floor and do a little stretching. And then put your hands on your thighs. Stand up. And exhale. And then let's get ready to get down on the floor. I always like to extend my mat a little bit by putting this down. And I'm going to use a mat today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I kind of like not having a lot of fussy things to use. And now I've got to refocus this camera lens. Oh, someday I will have let I'm going to pull everything back a little bit. A camera crew. I needn't finish that thought. All right. So we'll start sitting with the knees out to the side and the bottom of the feet together. And just kind of Settle into this position. You can hold on to your ankles. Breathe in and breathe out. Stretch over. Now, if you have osteoporosis, then just try and stretch over with a flat kind of back. But if you're okay, then you can just round over. And then inhale and look up. If you're rounding your back, if you are stretching with the flat back, then you just release. But if you're rounding over, exhale on that part. And then inhale as you look up. This is the turtle looking out of his shell. And exhale as you round over. Inhale and exhale. Now you don't need to have your heels too close to your body. Just far enough away so that you can get a good stretch. If you keep doing this, then you'll loosen up, and in order to make more gains, you'll have to put put your feet a little closer to your torso. One more time. And slowly sit up. Now let's do a little foot massage. So right along your arch, as you press in there, you can feel there's some bone there. So just with your thumbs, press along that line, along that area. So you're pressing up into the bone that's on your arch, and just go back and forth a few times. The spleen meridian runs through here, and a little bit, you'll probably get a little bit of the kidney meridian running through here. And it's just nice to stimulate your feet. Sometimes we shove them in shoes all day, and it's nice to give them a little bit of TLC. And now massage down under the rest of the arch of your foot. There's a lot of reflexology points all over your foot that refer to different areas of your body. And you can stimulate that with different massaging on different areas. And then let's do a little on the top of the foot. So we're going to do the top of the foot. So start like in between the toes. So in between the big toe and the next toe. And then go up onto the top of your foot. And in between, you'll be in between two tendons there. So you can feel that. There's a little V-shaped channel here. Go ahead and rub on that. And I just found a place that's really tough and tight. So I'm going to stop there and make little circles. So you can use just one finger, your index finger. You can use a lot of fingers, all your fingers. And just massage in there. There's a couple of liver meridian points along here. And sometimes they can be pretty tender. But if you keep massaging them just gently, you don't want to go in there with too much pressure, not too severe. And gradually that will release and feel better. And then go to in between the next two toes, and then come up. On my foot, it's a little harder to feel that, but in between those two tendons there's the stomach meridian comes through here. You can see how that feels. Do a little bit of massage on the top of your foot. And then let's go on to between the next two toes. Ooh, ah. And that little point there can be also tender. There's a point around this area for the gallbladder meridian, and you may be right on it as you go on this part of the top of your foot. And then the last two between the pinky and the next to the last toe just come up. Ooh, yes. A little bit more the with the gallbladder and bladder meridian out here on the outside of your foot. Okay. And then just massage a little bit. And now open your legs out to the side. It can be smaller. Maybe you're wider, your hips are more open than mine. Let's stretch over. So just put your hand on somewhere on your leg that feels pretty easy to reach. And then inhale, and we'll stretch and flow. So you just gently lean over. You try and turn your shoulders toward that and push. So you're pushing energy down and pulling energy up. And just go to the place where you start to feel the stretch. Inhale on this part and exhale. And if you're pretty stretched out and it's easy to reach your foot, you can just do that anywhere. You want to tailor it so it's just right for you and you're not overstretching. If you overstretch, there's a risk of injury, straining some muscles somewhere in the muscles that are involved in this. And it's just better to gradually work into it. Just breathing, breathe in here and breathe out as you stretch over. Now, if you need to watch your back a little bit, maybe you only want to have a flat back as you go over. And so now let's stay in this stretched position. So you can just put your hand on top of your thigh here and lean over. If it's okay for you to round over, then go ahead and do that. It puts a little bit more weight into the stretch. And take a breath. Inhale and exhale. And then walk yourself back up. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Start off easy. It's an experiment every time to see how far you can comfortably stretch. Every time it could be different. Breathe in and breathe out. Turn your shoulders towards your leg as much as you can. And if it's easy to reach your foot, then you can go ahead and touch there. Exhale when you stretch. You feel nice to exhale through your mouth on this part. And now let's remain in the stretch. So put your hand on, I put it on top of, on my thigh above the knee and just stretch over. You can use your hand by the side. If you're all stretched out, you can hold on farther down, whatever feels good. And then slowly walk yourself up. Ah, and then release the stretch. Maybe you want to bounce your knees a little bit, relax your legs. And now let's sit in this staggered kind of a Z sit stance. And the one leg is in front, the other leg's behind. And that foot that's behind, you can have your foot, so you can see, you can have your foot like that, flexed, or you can have it pointed. Either way is fine. And then you'll get more stretch the more you put your leg behind you. Okay, so you can just find a place that feels pretty good. And then we're going to do a twist. So put your hand, so your left hand will be behind you, and then inhale. So you can exhale and twist. You'll feel the stretch on the front of your hip. Gets into the hip flexor. Inhale in this part, and your quad into your spine. Always be careful. Really pay attention. That's the mindfulness part. At one point, I hadn't been able to do anything like this for a while after I had that hip surgery. And when I sat down to try and do this, it was like, oh, wow. But gradually it came back. Everything started to feel better. Just working slowly and carefully. And now this time, just remain in the stretch. Breathe in and exhale. And then go ahead and change to the other side. If your hips are all open, then maybe you don't need to have anything to lift you up like a bolster or anything. So you can try it either way, both ways. We'll do the same thing on this side. So uh, the place we're stretching in the hip is right here. So it has this quality to it of lifting and pushing your hip forward. And then put one hand behind you and inhale. So you can exhale and twist. Be gentle. This is actually a pretty powerful exercise. It, you can think of it as wringing tension out of your low back and into your sacrum area. And now this time, just stay in the stretch position. Take a couple of breaths. Feel your body. And release that stretch. And let's do a little transition as we're standing up. Just get onto your hands and knees, and we'll do dog wagging the tail. So just let your hips gently rock side to side like a very happy puppy. Breathe in and breathe out. And then open your knees a little bit, sit back, and do child's pose. You can do just a little bit and support yourself up. Keep your back flat if you want to keep your back from bending too much, or you can just let yourself go all the way down. And now slowly stand up. And if you need to remove some things out of your way, then go ahead and do that. All right, so I need to recalibrate calibrate this a little. See what we've got here. I think that looks okay. And let's do a little bouncing and shaking. Doing some stretching like that can go a long way to opening up all of the energy flows in the legs. It's a little harder to feel the energy moving through the legs, but the stretching can help to sensitize uh, and help your focus to be more aware of what's happening down here in your legs. So breathe in and breathe out. And slowly come to a rest. And just let your arms be by your sides and feel your body. Feel particularly your legs this time. Legs, hips, torso, arms. Just pay attention and see if you can feel some sort of energy sensation. Tingling. Breathe in and breathe out. Now let's do an exercise that helps to balance the left and the right side of the body. Okay. Robin, we can talk later, okay? And after the class is over, and we'll have a chance to talk a little bit. So put your hands this way, and we're going to take energy in the hands here and turn and by the ears. So it helps to balance the energy in your head and also opens up the ears a little bit. So turn your hands around like this. So you're swirling energy through your head. And now your fingers are pointing down. Now we'll continue on down, go out to the sides of the body and move energy down all the way down to your feet, down to your little toes. And then inhale and bring your arms up. And we'll do the same thing again. So the gallbladder meridian, I'll show you, it takes uh, it goes from your head all the way to your feet. So it starts around here and then it goes back behind your ears and then up like that and then down onto your back and then around your sides down here and all the way down to your feet outside of the foot. So when that gets tight, it can really uh, affect your neck, head, headaches, that sort of thing. So let's go and do that exercise a few times. Just breathe naturally at the beginning, and then maybe you want to exhale here. So you're releasing any blockages that may be occurring in that meridian or the area. And then inhale as you bring in fresh energy. And exhale as you glide down the body. Give you a chance to cool off a little bit. Release tension, tightness, heat. Inhale, pull in some fresh energy and repeat. Exhale as you bring your arms down. Inhale, gather fresh energy. And now just hold your hands by the sides of your ears without touching. Just aim the inside of your hands and your palms toward your head. And then maybe you want to move your hands a little bit in and out, sort of play with that energy, and maybe you can feel it subtly moving around your ear, by your skin, maybe through your whole head. Maybe you can feel it going back and forth. Just think of sending energy from one hand to the other. Let it go through your brain. And then bring your arms down. And we'll have opening the flow, but just with one arm. So inhale, bring your arm up, and then exhale, just relax that arm totally and let it float down. And then do the same thing with the other one. Inhale and exhale. Think of moving energy up this one side of the body, up the right side. And release that. And then do the same thing, other side. We'll move slowly, attract more energy. Where you focus your attention is very important. Where your consciousness goes, energy follows. And where your energy goes, if it's in your body, then blood follows. And some result happens. Same thing in life. You're focused on something, like maybe you want to learn to play the guitar. You focus on that. And after some practice and maybe some things that don't sound too great, then you start to get into the flow of that. So breathe in and breathe out. One more like that. And now let's turn it into Kuan Yin paints the rainbow. So take your right hand and just guide your hand around into a circle like a rainbow. Think of a rainbow on this side, goes up, it goes back, it goes down. You can even bend over a little bit. And now when you bring your hands through, this palm is facing up, but it picks up the other hand. So one's up, one's down, and then you turn it both down and do the other side. So you breathe in and put a rainbow on this side. Inhale on the top part of it and exhale as you bring your arm down. And then both hands come up. Get the coordination down. So breathe in and exhale. And let the rainbow represent all the full spectrum of energy, of very high quality, high vibrational energy that we want to cultivate. You can bring that in, surround yourself with all this positive energy, carry it inside and outside. Once more on each side. Again, you can adjust the arm and shoulder movement so it really fits in with your body condition. Just very gently move, no stress, no strain. And then make an energy ball between your hands and just feel your hands. Maybe you want to close your eyes and just focus on your hands. And always keep your eyes open if that feels a little bit uncomfortable. And then maybe open and close your hands. Push energy from one hand to the other. Just move slowly so you have a chance to connect with the energy and let it surround you and sink in deep. And now let's pull down heaven, breathe in and breathe out. Reach your arms up, just collect more energy, and then guide it down with your hands on either side of the center line. And then put your hands together over your lower abdomen. Bring your legs a little closer together or all the way together if that feels comfortable. And then bamboo in the wind. Just let all this energy we've been moving, accumulating, and let it settle. Let it settle, go where it needs to go. Just allow your body to gently rock and sway, just very subtle movement. It's not something you control, it's something you just allow. Breathe in and breathe out and relax your arms down. Now, for this meditation, I'm going to go to the floor. You can do this seated if you want to, but I want to go down on the floor this time. And you'll want to have your knees bent. Or even if since you're at home, you can maybe lie down on the floor and then put your uh, feet up onto a chair. So you're in sort of a lying down but seated position. So if I had a chair here like this, that is really, your legs are supported. It really helps to relax a lot of the muscles in your abdomen. Then you can have something under your uh, knees or just bend your knees so that we're taking the stress off of the pelvic floor, hips, abdomen. And just bring your arms down by your side. If you need a pillow underneath your head, then go ahead and support your head. You'll know if you need it if you're so tight back here that your chin is pointed up. It looks uncomfortable and it is uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable for this. So get a little pillow for behind your head. And now just relax. Let go. Focus on your breath. Let your shoulders sink down into the floor. Let your hips be heavy. Relax your neck. You might even want to turn your head a little side to side, releasing tension in your neck. And now let's bring our full focus onto the breath. And this time we'll start with belly breathing. So put your hands on your lower abdomen. Breathe in. And as your lungs fill up, your belly will push out a little bit and then exhale. Breathe in and fill the lower part of your lungs, middle, upper part, right underneath your shoulders. And then let all of that release. Just feel your breath. And now let's focus on a very specific area of the breath. Put your hands on the lower part of your rib cage. When you breathe in, breathe into your hands so that you're opening up the lower part of your lungs. And then exhale and release that. You might want to shift your position a little bit to make that work more easily. And notice if it's easy in one side, a little more difficult in the other. Just notice to get into this lateral type breathing. Open up the lower part of your lungs. Often as people get older, the lungs can actually get smaller because they're not used very much, and posture has a lot to do with it. If your shoulders are rounded forward, it's harder to breathe. But with practice, you can open up these the lower area of your ribs, the lower part of your lungs. Just see how that feels and gently encourage both sides to move out equally as much as you can. Depends on how your spine is. If you have some scoliosis, it can be a little harder on one side or the other. And now bring your arms down by the sides of your body. And now imagine that I've put both of my hands on your back, on your upper back. Sometimes we do that kidney breathing and breathe into the low back, but this time let's do the upper back. So just imagine have put my hands down behind you, and then breathe into my imaginary hands. Totally relax when you exhale, and then inhale. Focus on your back. Breathe into your back. This may be a little easier if you also use the lateral breathing. And if you breathe in to this whole part of all of your lungs, then your belly will come out and you're actually breathing also down there. But the focus right now is your back. Upper to mid back. Not up into your shoulders. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed. Relax your neck. Fill your entire lungs with air, with the breath. Breath is life. And now just put your hands on your abdomen again and take some easy breaths. Just totally relax. And notice your breath now. How is your breath feeling now? Is it a little bit more open, a little more free, a little more even? opening up some places that maybe were stuck or restricted. Breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly turn to the side and just stay here for a breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly push yourself up and just sit comfortably. If you want to have your legs crossed, that would be great. And then do a little tapping on your chest with your fingertips this time. And sweep down your arms, sweep down your legs, down the back a little bit. And then put your hands together in front of your chest and take a moment to focus on gratitude. Breathe in with gratitude for this breath and exhale and breathe out blessings. So thank you for joining the class today. I really appreciate have someone to work out with and play with on Monday and Thursday mornings. And I hope I see you again on Monday. So take care and I'll see you next time.